Alrighty, Tuesday, July 2nd, starting off with NQ here for a quick session recap. Main focus today, as it has been for the past couple of weeks, was how price traded versus this 950 by 910 key pivot. Continue to see responsive buyers versus this key pivot, and today was definitely no exception. You could see the strong buying that actually started during the pre-market session following the test of that key pivot up into the 20,025 upside level of interest, the prior day high. You get a retest of the prior day high. You also have the 20,080 level of interest there, so a phenomenal re-entry spot to test the 160 and almost Friday's high now. So really good responsive buying today with that move up and through the prior day high. Remember yesterday, what I primarily attribute to the quality of today's setup is yesterday's daily bar. What we had talked about yesterday was wanting to see if buyers could show continuation following yesterday's daily bar. Remember, we did have that higher time frame spring setup with price kind of undercutting the previous 3 days low right through there around 910, offering that spring setup. Okay, can buyers actually show that continuation up and through yesterday's high? Obviously, we know now the answer was yes. But once we see that retest into that 910, 950 area today, and then the push up and through that prior day high, that setup is pretty much on for, at the very least, a test of 160, which I had mentioned during the pre-market prep live stream, and then potentially Friday's high if the buying activity was quite aggressive. Now, not quite there, but pretty close, right? Pretty close. So for tomorrow is a half day. So I do expect some decent action in the morning, some decent volume in the morning, but broadly speaking, most likely we'll be calling it an early day. It is a half day. The market is closed Thursday for July 4th, Independence Day, and then we're back on Friday with a normal trading day. So tomorrow, not really looking to be doing too much personally. As far as NQ is concerned, I'll be looking at today's high as well as this upside 270 level of interest. That was Friday's high. There's going to be a significant high here, at least in the near term, right? There's a level of interest, not only Friday's high, but check the high made from back on June 18th, and then this should be June 17th. Yep. So we do have a significant level still right above, and then if buyers continue to show that push higher, we'll be looking at a retest of the all-time highs. Not much else to work with up here. So as of tomorrow, main focus is whether buyers can show continuation of this move up through today's high, up through that 20,270. That'll be the main area of interest. As of right now, key support continues to be defended. You have a nice near-term range, right? Price resolves higher. Like I had mentioned this morning, though, I'm continuing to treat pretty much the entirety of this structure like a range, right? You could either look at it like that or with the resistance through here, right? But all of this up through here, definitely some selling activity should be expected. We want to be watching for where sellers may actually start to materialize within the kind of upper portion of this intermediate term range. So as always, keeping an eye on those higher time frame charts, 30-minute, 60-minute, things like that can really be helpful. Remember that hourly bar from Friday. Remember the significance of that bar, right? Really set up the trend day for Friday and that sell-off. Then this morning, we have that broad buy bar up and through the prior day high. So higher time frame structure really helps to align yourself with the highest probability setup of the day and strong intraday entries. So that's NQ. Main watch is going to be, again, Friday's high, which is a key level of interest, as well as today's high, depending on that overnight action. Expectations, personally, keeping them lighter. Like I said, we do have that half day, so it could potentially be an inside day tomorrow as well. That is another scenario to consider. And if that is the case, we'll just take the fib retracement from this morning's low up into today's high. We could watch the action versus those reference points. Let's jump over to ES. So one of the key differences with ES this morning was the fact that it was trading down into the prior day low. That was a significant difference compared to NQ. NQ nowhere near that prior day low this morning, right? Big difference. That made the NQ setup definitely quite a bit stronger. Now ES, again, undercutting that prior day low, trading right here into that 55.10. Key pivot, nonetheless. Zoom out a little bit. Remember, we've been talking about this for the past few weeks now, so it shouldn't come as any surprise. You get the undercut during the overnight session, and then by the time regular trading hours opens, price is already up and through that 55.10, that 55.20 area. So you get the follow through that prior day high, and now trading up into that 55.65. Range trading continues. This is still a range. So if you were shorting support this morning, got to ask yourself why. Really got to ask yourself why. This undercut did look interesting, but as far as what we were looking at when price actually was past the regular trading hours open, no reason to be shorted until we get into the upper portions of this range here, because the attempted breakdown that we were potentially seeing this morning, right, did not materialize. Get a little blip below, little liquidity grab, and then that bounce, and then the strength of NQ also should be keeping you out of that trade. So intermediate term range continues to hold as far as tomorrow. Pretty simple here. How is price going to react versus this 55.65, starting to get into the upper portion of this intermediate term range, right? We have 55.65, and then above this, it's just the prior all-time high up here into 55.85. So we'll see if sellers start to materialize here or into the prior all-time high and what that is really looking like. So main focus right through here, 55.65, and then the same idea about the potential inside day, the potential retracement play will be on watch. And for that, we can just draw the fib. We'll have more clues on that tomorrow morning. We do have some data tomorrow that'll be on watch as well. I'll touch more on that tomorrow morning during the pre-market prep live stream. But overall, some really good action today. Some textbook setups that are definitely worth studying. So if you didn't catch those, definitely take some time to review and document them, because there was some really good action. Hope everyone had a profitable day. If you guys have questions about anything, feel free to shoot me a DM. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow morning.